What's going on, everyone? It's King Tuts Pro. Welcome back to another Final Cut Pro 10 tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 amazing fire effects that you guys can do. We're going to be doing something like this, and it's so cool to do. And then we're going to be creating this super cool fire effects. And this one actually has no keyframing whatsoever. And then this one is going to be just a simple fire effects with that. And then it looks like the building's on fire. So I want to give a special thanks to Pixel Film Studios for sponsoring today's video. Also, don't forget to check them out on YouTube, where they provide their own comprehensive Final Cut Pro 10 tutorials covering a variety of topics. You can visit their YouTube playlist, which I will link down below. So the plugin that we're going to be using in today's video comes from Pixel Film Studios. So this is going to be the Final Cut Pro 10 Anime Fire 4K effects. So this does support 4K footage. If you guys want to try out this plugin for yourself, please use the discount code KingPixelPro at checkout. Go into the titles and generators right over here. And then what you're going to do is go down to the generators tab, which is here. And then you're going to go over to the Pixel Film Studios. So if I push play, it's going to look something like this. Again, we have Flame 1, so if I push play, it's going to look something like this. And they don't look like that, by the way. So if I were to drag it here and I push play, you're going to see that it looks completely different. We have Flame 5, as you can see here, which is the one we're going to be using. So if I click and drag this here and I push play, you're going to see that's what it looks like. We have a lot of Flame presets here. We have 50 of them. So you have a good selection to choose from. And by the way, these are also M1 compatible. So if you have an M1 or an Apple M1 chip, this plugin does work for that. So what we're gonna do is select Flame 5 and we're gonna drag this above our video clip. So just click and drag. So what we can do is go over to where he lifts the flag here. So it's about here. So I like to select the video clip, which is this one. And I press M on the keyboard to add a marker. So now you can see we've added a marker right here. So we can move the time head right over here, just like that. And then from there, what you can do is move the flame to where it stops, which is about here. So we're going to add M on the keyboard to add a marker on the flame effects clip. And you're just going to match the top marker to the bottom marker here. So they're aligned perfectly. From there, what we can do is scale this up. So we're going to scale this up quite a bit. And over here, you're going to see this little on-screen control. So if you click and drag, this will allow you to control the position of the preset. And if we zoom out here to say 25%, you also have this outer ring. So if you click, you're going to see a little arrow, right? And you can click, bring it in to make it smaller, or drag it out to make it bigger. So once you're happy with that, what we're going to do is go back to fit here, and we're going to go over to the inspector tab. We're going to go over to the generator. So click on this button, and then you're going to have the Pixel Film Studios parameters. So you have the transform controls. So you have right now position is on this here, and we have the style controls. If we keep going down, we have ember controls and effect controls. So I'm going to show you what these do as I go. The starting point is at the marker. We're going to click and drag this right here. From there, you're going to add a keyframe next to position. You're going to add one next to scale, X rotation, Y rotation, and Z rotation. What this does, if you click and drag the 0 here, or you can use this wheel, you can actually rotate the x-axis, right? And if you go to the y rotation, you can rotate this, and then you have z, which rotates it in a circle, just like that. We're gonna go frame by frame, so press right on the arrow key on your keyboard to go one frame over to the right, and then you're gonna see that this moves, but the actual flame does not. So we're just gonna click and drag this up, and then press right on the arrow key again, and then we're going to move this up again, and we're going to rotate this slightly. Press right on the arrow key again, and we're going to move it up a little bit and rotate it. Here, we're going to move this down as well. We're just kind of following the edge or the angle of the flag here. If we go and push play, it'll look just like that. And the cool thing about this is if you go to the edge of the flame clip here, you can trim this down to make it go a lot faster, as you can see, or you can extend this outwards to make it go a lot slower. And then say you want to change the color. So right now you can see that we have a dark orange, we have a kind of yellow color, and then we have like a lighter shade of that yellow. You can change that by going over to the style controls. You can change the top color, the mid color, and the base color. So we're going to click on the top color. You can change that to say kind of like a purplish color for this one. For the mid color, we're going to change that one again to a bit of a darker purple. And then the base color, we're going to make that a little bit more blue. So now if I go back and push play, it'll look just like that. You can increase the saturation if you want it a lot more saturated. We have value, so we can increase this number over to the right. You can increase it like that. We have exposure. This is how bright this is. So now if I push play, it'll make it a lot more emphasized on the glow. You can see that this one has the embers, which is this piece here. So if I were to drag it over here, these are the embers right here. So to change that, you would just go down to ember. You can randomize the seed. So if you look at this and we click randomize, it's going to change position. So we can go to offset location, drag this. We can change the emission, birth rate. We can make more of them if we want. So now you can see there's a lot more of these little embers here. So if I push play, pretty cool stuff here, but I'm going to delete that one. I just wanted to show you how to use the embers on that one. So strobe rate, if you change the value, you're going to see that it kind of changes the look. If I push play, so I brought the strobe rate down to 10.5, and it's like more choppy. So if you're trying to go for that really cool 8-bit kind of gaming effect, this could look really cool. But if you don't want that and you want it to be really smooth, you can bring it to 60 and it'll be more fluid. And then you can also change the sharpness. So you can make this a lot more sharp, as you can see. It's a lot sharper on those edges. And if we bring that down, it's a lot smoother. Pixelate, so you can pixelate the actual flame, which is kind of cool actually if you're trying to go for that gaming look. And then you also have prism amount, so you can create a RGB kind of split effect. Add a transition. I think it was number 24. So we're going to click and drag this right in between the clips that you want to add your transition to. So we're going to be transitioning this clip to this clip here. So we're going to add the flame in between those two clips. We're going to move the beginning part, which is this piece here, closer to the end of the first clip, wherever it covers the most areas where we want to add the position in between the two clips here. Now we can kind of move this and rotate this like that. So from there, we're just going to increase this quite a bit, so it covers top to bottom. As much as you can get it is totally fine. If you think it's too slow, which I do think it's too slow, you can just bring the clip closer to each other. And I go to the beginning and I push play. You're going to see that we created a very nice transition. You can go over to the inspector tab. You can go over to the parameters and you can change all of the settings again. You can change the top color to a pink. You can change the mid color to the, darker purple. And then the base color will be that kind of bluish color. If I push play, it'll look just like that. And then you're going to have the glint effects, and you're also going to have the twirl effects as well. So if you select the glint, what this will do is it will add like a glowish halo around the overall fire effect. So if I click and drag this above, say, Flame 24 Inspector tab, so you have to go to this one for the effects, you're going to see the difference here, as you can see. So this is where you can decrease the opacity of the glint, or you can increase it all the way to 100, and then you can increase the exposure, or you can bring it down. So if we were to bring this up so you guys can see a little bit like that intensity here, we're going to go down to this, and you can decrease the slider, or you can increase it if you want. And then you have the tint, create a tint color to whatever you have in this box. So right now it's on white, which will create kind of this white halo. And if you click and drag the circle, you can change the tint color. It'll look something like that. We have twirl effects. So what this will do is we'll add a twirl effect. So just click and drag this onto your Flame 24. So make sure that this is selected, and we can go here and increase the amount, and we can change the position of this. So we can go maybe over here, and if I push play, it'll look like that. Or maybe we want it on the left side, kind of like that, and I push play. You can do something like that. It looks so cool. I really love that they added these two effects here, so you can further enhance the look and feel of the effect. For this, you want to use a clip that ideally uses blue screen or green screen, or you can actually just use a very solid color background. Just make sure that there's some good contrast. In this case, we have a nice blue sky with our subject. Go over to the effects. You're going to go over to, so under effects, you're going to go down to the keyer, which should be here, king, and you're going to add the keyer above your clip. So just drag it above, but you're going to see that it's also taking out some of the white. click back on the clip, go to your keyer, and in the keyer, go to sample color, click on it, and select the blues. And then now we can go back to fill holes, and you click and drag, and this will bring back all of the finer details on the edges. From there, we're gonna go over to the fire effects. We can do flame 43. So we're gonna do this one, and we're gonna drag it below the clip. We're gonna trim this to match the top clip, which is this one here. We're gonna select the flame 43, and we're just gonna increase its scale, bring it down, and just do something like this. If I were to push play, it's gonna look something like this. Again, it's not gonna be perfect because the blue sky and the white rail are a little bit similar in color, as you can see. So you can only do as much as you can with this, at least with this particular video. So now if I go back and push play, it's going to look something like that. So we're just gonna go over to the generators. We're gonna go over to the Animate Fire 4K pack. So this one's perfect. So flame 37. So we're gonna click and drag this above our video, and then we're gonna zoom in to the timeline, and then from here, right as he skids backwards, which is about here, I think right here is good, and then we're gonna reposition this right here. We're gonna rotate this, and we're gonna make this bigger. It's still a little long, so we're gonna trim this down, and if I push play, so something like that could really spice up your video, just doing something as simple as that. And then last but not least, we're gonna create that burning kind of window or house effect. And again, we just go back to the pack here. It already looks kind of cool. So I'm going to drag this one above our video, and I'm going to position this right above this little kind of rail. So we're going to scale this clip down. So bring it down, and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. And I'm going to move this right over here, and I'm also going to rotate this so it matches the angle of the rail. And I'm also going to make this a lot smaller. Right there, looks good. I might want to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to add a keyframe next to position. We're going to add a keyframe next to scale, X, Y, and Z. And then just go frame by frame. So press right on the arrow key, reposition this, and move it back to where it was. Press right on the arrow key, and you're just going to do this for the next couple frames. Okay, so that's the very end of the frame. Once you're finished, you can go back and see your, your results. So if I push play, it'll look like that. It's jumping some frames because we didn't put it exactly where it was. So like right here is where it jumps. So we're gonna go back and fix that. Here and here it moves. So this one, we're gonna reposition this right here. So now it'll look like the house is on fire, or at least this part is on fire. So we can extend this out. If I go back and I push play from the beginning, this is what we created. Created transition, we created this really cool smoke or fire effect, and then we also created flame here for this shoe. You could really spice up your music video clips by adding effects like this. If you guys found this video helpful for your next project, please hit the like button. You guys have been absolutely killing the like button in my last videos, so I just want to say thank you so much. Until then, I'll catch you on my next video.